These racist maggots, these folks, Donald Trump's people, they've always hated, could not stand, absolutely could not stand when we see these folks, these immigrants from all around the country. Couldn't stand it, just couldn't stand it. And they attacked, of course, Haitians in Springfield. They were attacking, they've been attacking people of color all around the country. They've been attacking immigrants all over and over. So check this out. They have absolutely, just absolutely, they cannot stand Somalis in Minnesota. Donald Trump, he attacks Congresswoman Ilhan Omar any chance he can get. All they do is attack, attack, attack. They want pure white in this country. Bishop Jakes, you heard our conversation when he said, "Oh, all of a sudden, they want folks from Finland. That's people they want. Oh, so they want whiteness. This is what the twice impeached, criminally convicted felon-in-chief Donald Trump said today in his cabinet meeting with cameras rolling."
I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, "Oh, that's not politically correct." I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, "Let's go, come on, let's make this place great." These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, "This isn't paradise." But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much, everybody.
You just heard a vile, despicable, racist comment from a vile, despicable, racist person, Joe.
Yeah, you did. That's what it is that we're looking at now. And so just in case you weren't sure what was what, you can't shine a good light on that. You can't make that look or sound any better than what it actually is. There's a whole lot of folks out here that are scared of folks that don't look like them, scared of folks that don't think like them. And he's at the front of it. And, the pot calling the kettle black, talking about persons X, Y, or Z complaining. He complains more than anybody out here. He's the complainer in chief. And so when you have that, you need to make sure that the wool's not put over your eyes in terms of what his thoughts are. And that's why, and go ahead and connect that to African Americans as well, not just our Ethiopian Americans or our native Ethiopians that have come to this country legally. Connect black folk. All black folk are in this box together in his eyes. Okay. And so you need to see that for what it is, and deal with it accordingly. Quit acting like it's something other than what it is. There's no gray area in that. And then you add the whole little administration, half of which are not, the sharpest tools in the shed, where their elevator does not necessarily go all the way to the top, have more nerve than the toothache. They're clapping like he just did something. Like, okay, yeah, we agree. But ultimately, what they're talking about and what he's talking about is rooted in fear/hate, and people are somewhere in that spot. There are some people that aren't necessarily bad people that are fearful. They shouldn't be, but they are. And then there are other people that get to be fueled by hate, and it's terrible when they're justified in doing so by the President of the United States. But again, this is what you have. Quit acting like it's something other than what it is that you see. No, you see exactly what it is that you think you see. And if anybody like us was sitting in a chair like that, or Barack Obama was sitting in that chair and said something like that, listen, they banged on him for wearing a tan suit. So if he said anything like this, we all know that they'd be impeaching him tomorrow. Okay, so it's really interesting what privilege does. It's really interesting what the facilitation of hate does. And so those that have the inclination to hate, just realize that while he's doing that, while you're doing that, and he's got you all riled up because you think somebody doesn't look like you took your, he's picking your pocket. All right, open your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, Randy, it's very simple. Look, they want white people. Listen, I wrote my book. I keep trying to explain to people. I saw this coming. 2009, I sat there and said, we're living in the age of white minority resistance. These white folks are losing their mind. They cannot handle the browning of America. That's why I titled the subtitle, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. And so they are angry, upset. I just saw this tweet, control room, let me know when y'all have it. I mean, this racist, Elon Musk, all he tweets about are white fertility rates and how, oh my God, this is awful. So they can't stand it. And here's the deal. Ain't nobody on this panel white. It ain't our fault y'all stop screwing. It ain't our fault y'all stop having babies. Like, seriously, what's my song? It ain't my fault. What time is it? It ain't my fault. So they're angry and upset. These Midwestern towns, these cities, they're dying. Immigrants, but they don't want. This is Randy, literally, this is what Elon Musk was responding to this tweet. This tweet said, white people are on the verge of extinction. Global population of white people. 100 years ago, roughly 35%. 50 years ago, roughly 20%. 25 years ago, 15%. Today, just 8%. White people are the minorities and must take their countries back. No more tolerance, no more suicidal empathy. And the graphic says, white people be like, gotta help the minorities at 8% of the world in 2021. Whites on the verge of extinction. This is what Elon Musk says. If current trends continue, whites will go from being a small minority of world population today to virtually extinct. Hey, Elon, that's white people's problems. They ain't got nothing to do with us.
And it's too late. I mean, it's so obvious that they're desperate. The way they're acting is desperate because they know this is their last stand. The browning of America has gone where it's going to go. It's going to continue to go there. They have about 10 years, and they absolutely will be the minority in this country as they are in the world. They are not the world's majority whatsoever. And everything they're doing right now is their last stand. They're doing everything. And so the fact that we have a shooter from Afghanistan and somehow they're connecting that to Somalia. It does not even make sense, right? But it's a brown country. And as we know, they're trying to expand the list of countries that they are going to block immigrants from coming from, all of them being brown people. Not one is European, of course, as if criminals don't come from those countries. It's funny to me how he's calling this a shit, other countries shithole, where I saw someone said, we've gotten rid of the Department of Education, but have the Department of War. I would consider us going in a way of a shithole country. The way that they're, that's why they're so hard right now on, abortion. That's why they're so trying to change the professions, because they want these white women at home, not being nurses, not being teachers, but having some babies and definitely not having an abortion. Everything is about ensuring that they turn this tide around of the browning of America. They are terrified, and they're not even cool enough to even try to hide it anymore. They are frantic. That's what we're seeing right now. Absolutely frantic. And the reason why those people were clapping is that they're scared too. They want to remain in control. They want to keep the numbers. And what scares them too are when they see white people who they consider libtards or liberal actually having some sense and recognizing that what's going on right now is criminal and illegal and just absolutely morally corrupt, and that are saying we can't do this. This is not the America we want to go live in. And particularly when they realize that them running the country, white people running the country, is not for them. It's for the billionaires. That's why Elon Musk is so worried about what's happening over here. So yeah, they are desperate and they are racist.
It's just, to me, it's just laughable. When Cooning, this vile, despicable racist says these things, and his cult cabinet trashes other countries. I can name them. Ilhan Omar, she just garbage. Her friends are garbage. He is a truly despicable individual, and Megyn Kelly, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, the entire Fox News network, these right-wingers, they would be going ape shit if President Joe Biden or President Barack Obama did anything like this. But you know what? The reason they're not going to say anything, because they believe it too.
Calling a sitting member of Congress trash, I mean, how far have we fallen from respectability politics? Calling a black woman trash, calling a Muslim woman trash, calling a hijabi trash. These are all dog whistles. And you know what, Roland? It's not even a dog whistle. It's an outward, over whistle for people to put on their hoods and take back the streets. That's what I see. That's what I hear when I listen to these networks, when I listen to the rhetoric that's being spewed from the White House. Let's talk about Representative Omar for a moment. This is someone who fled their country to escape the Somali civil war, lived as a refugee in Kenya, has experienced maybe more hardship than most people have experienced in their entire lives, and is yet somehow a sitting representative of the United States Congress. I mean, when you think about what really used to be considered the American dream, that's what Ilhan Omar represents to so many people in this country. But you know what? I get why they're scared, Roland. I get why they're scared, because what we do know is a few things. 1 out of 4 people will be African by the year 2050, which is up from 1 in 11 from the year 1960. So I understand that a lot of people are having a hard time stomaching this browning of not only America, but the entire global community. But unfortunately, whatever prejudices they have are not going to stop what's already currently happening and pushing forward. And you know, I also want to shout out the squad that President Trump was referencing when he said Ilhan Omar's trash and her friends are trash. Let me take a second to shout out Representative AOC, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib as well, because all of those women of color that have continued to do the backbreaking work of standing up in a Congress that has continually spit in their faces and standing against this administration. We have to continue to commend our leaders. Ilhan has been one of those leaders, and she will continue to be. And I think the rhetoric that's coming from the White House continues to be salacious, but now we can't pretend this isn't happening. They're doing it publicly out in the open, and we have to fight fire with fire.
Yeah, and so for all these people, look, there's a special election happening today in Nashville. We'll see what happens in that particular race. You see what they're doing with these racist gerrymanders. We're seeing what's happening with the Supreme Court. And I want everybody watching, I want everybody understanding, y'all should be sharing that clip. Y'all should be sharing this conversation, because understand, a lot of people say, well, you can't call all of Donald Trump's followers racist. You can't say that about them. But here's the reality. All of Donald Trump's followers, all people who voted for him, they voted for a racist. They voted for racist policies. They voted for Stephen Miller to be back. They voted for Donald Trump to keep people, one guy who said he has a Nazi streak. We can go on and on and on. This is what we're dealing with. And that vile attack today on Somalis, individuals who committed themselves. What Donald Trump has said is that if you are Somali American and you join the United States military, you are trash. He's trashed your company. He's your country. He's trashed your lineage. He's trashed all of that. And his cabinet clapped. All the white folks around there clapped, including the black guy, Scott Turner, the HUD secretary. So I need people to understand, when we talk about voting, we talk about what's going on, our vote must stop vile, evil, despicable, racist people like Donald Trump. And they can hate on black immigrants. They can hate on African Americans. They can hate on Latinos. But you know what they can't do? They can't stop us from voting their asses out. And so I'm going to need folk to absolutely focus and to understand nothing will piss them off more. Not a comment on Twitter, not a comment on Facebook or Instagram, but nothing will piss them off more when we send their asses packing at the ballot box. That is the sweetest revenge.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.